Bear market, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Oh, man, so Bitcoin is soaring past $26,400 after 3 beats on CPI. Inflation has come in as expected. We've seen good rapport coming in, and now pressure piles onto Jerome Powell at his next FOMC meeting. Bitcoin breaking that crucial level at 25,000. We're going to get into charts. I'm going to show you the key levels where I think this move could take us and some of the risks on the table left. But this is a huge move which leaves many saying that this bear market is behind. I'm going to give you my take on that as well. But first, what did the CPI results say? If you missed my stream from earlier, 0.4% month on month, exactly as expected on the headline, 6% exactly as expected on the headline year on year figure. Core inflation comes in at 5.5, exactly as expected. And the only miss we have was on the core month on month. We're expecting that to come in at 0.4. That came in at 0.5, which is slightly hotter than we expected. But overall, markets are happy that inflation is meaningfully coming down. And the pressure is now on Jerome Powell to pause. 80% of the market is expecting still 25 base points. But this 20% of the market here is sitting here expecting a surprise pause. And do not be surprised to see that more and more start to get priced in between now and March the 22nd, which is the next Fed meeting. Huge move here. As we got the CPI results, you saw Bitcoin just got absolutely bonkers, trade straight through 25,000, worked its way all the way up to 26,000 here as well. S&P in the pre-market is doing pretty well as well. You got the Nasdaq up 1.14, S&P up 1.25%, and even the Dow Jones up 1% despite the banking concerns. And this is the major issue right now. Why are the markets so happy? Because we are heading towards a pivot. Okay, the Fed is backed up against a wall now. Inflation is coming down. The banking system is showing signs of creak, and they've got to come out and do something. Does Jerome Powell have any ammunition to do any meaningful rate hike? Can he even do 25 basis point at this point? That's going to be the question which a lot of people try to answer between now and March the 22nd. If we take a look here at the Bitcoin chart, you cannot deny how important this $25,000 mark is. Let's zoom out here to the weekly, and you guys will know that this has been the key level which we've needed to break through for a very long period of time. This was a level we've been unable to break since August the 22nd. That's about 9 months or so we've been struggling to break this level. Finally, we get a clear breakthrough. I do want to see more volume come in throughout today. I expect it to do so, but this is a nice clear break, okay? This is a nice break through this level. Do not be surprised to see on the daily chart if it kind of wants to, over the next couple of days, retest that line. That's absolutely fine as well. If it wants to go above, retest 25 on the backside and then work its way up, absolutely fine. But one thing we know for sure is coming up to this weekly chart, when you pull out the VPVR, again, if you don't know what this means, ijaz.uk/TA, we go through all the indicators I use, EMA ribbons, VPVRs, Fibonacci ratios, all the chart patterns. It's completely free, ijaz.uk/TA. Look at the volume, guys. The volume really disappears after this level. Now we're in that section here above my head where the volume is thin, and this gap where we fell so quickly from 46,000, there was very little support coming in from there. So expect us to be able to have really explosive moves now to start filling this gap. This is why that level was so important. Now, the other thing which I always mentioned was the EMA ribbon. What did I say? I said we need to take our EMA ribbon back. And what are we doing right now? I know the week's not over. We've got 5 days left before this weekly candle prints, but so far so good. This would be, if we pause the week here and this weekly candle closed, that would be a reclaim of our weekly EMA ribbon, and that is hugely bullish. Now, does this mean we enter straight into a bull market? No, we don't just run straight into a bull market. Expect to have periods of sidewaysness. But the huge message we need to take away from this is that we have come out so far, if we can close this weekly candle, from this horrible downtrend. We were in a very, very horrible downtrend. One word of warning, right? We have, on March the 22nd, had a similar situation where we had a weekly candle go above our weekly EMA ribbon only to be thrown down again. But what's different? Back then, on March the 22nd, the Fed were embarking on their tightening of monetary policy. Bitcoin is an asset which requires liquidity. It thrives on liquidity being in the ecosystem. The more money there is in the economy, Bitcoin benefits from that. All throughout 2022, we were in a tightening process. The Fed was not our friend. They were tightening. They were hoovering money out of the economy. Now, after this banking collapse over the weekend. We've got a fast forwarding of the game plan, right? First, the game plan was wait for inflation to come down. Jerome Powell kept saying, we're going to wait for 2%, we're going to wait for 2%. He does not have the luxury now to wait for 2%. The banking system is breaking. He will be getting pressure from the politicians, from banking lobbying groups as well, to really put an end to this, to pause, to think about things and see how it plays out. And that is why you're seeing the markets move. This is the talk about the pivot. We've been speaking about this for months and months on end. This is the pivot we've been looking for. And true to its word, you're seeing Bitcoin respond to it in the right direction. Many major altcoins moving as well. It's worth taking a look here at Phantom. You can't say I didn't tell you, right? You can't say that. For 2 years I've been talking about this coin. And if you guys haven't used that as your catalyst to do your own research, to build your own conviction, I don't know what to say. This is primarily a Bitcoin-led move today. Right? Dominance is going up by 2.6% today, which means this is a Bitcoin-led move. Bitcoin is moving and altcoins are not catching up with Bitcoin today, apart from very few. And one of the big ones which is doing that is Phantom, up 13 and almost 15% at one time before I was recording this video, versus Bitcoin's 9%. Look at other altcoins. Ethereum moving up 5%, less than Bitcoin, right? Half of Bitcoin's move percentage-wise. Look at Binance coin, BNB, another big project, 3%, Avalanche, 5%, right? These projects are moving far less, Matic, 2%. But look at Phantom. It's just insane how it's just people are now jumping into the project. So again, a good clue for you is look at which coins are pumping. When Bitcoin has an exciting day, which coins are quick out of the blocks? Those are the ones that have the attention right now. That's always a trick I like to use, and I've shared with you guys before on past videos. So if we take a look at this Fed Watch tool, what we can see is that the vast majority of the market still right now expect 25 base points at the March meeting. In the main meeting, they're then expecting another 25 base points to take you to 5% Fed funds rate. And then in the June meeting, you can see that the majority then expect that same 25 base points to be cut back again. So the market seems a little bit confused on what they expect. I think it's odd for Jerome Powell to come do 25 base point rate hikes only to take it back off the next month. I think he's going to want to get to a rate, pause and stay at that rate for a little bit of time to see what happens, but he needs to stop hiking. I think that is the key message. Once he stops hiking, he decides on a pause. Then markets can get excited about when does he think about cutting and going back to bring the Fed funds rate back down. Just as a reminder, this is the hike we've had, right? This is the hike we've had here. This is the steepest rate hike we've had in 40 years. And no wonder the banking system is feeling this. This is tremendous. And now the question is going to be how long does he stay at this level for? And then when does he decide to bring it back down? When you bring it back down, that means you're starting to ease policy again, which is really good for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some of the shorter time frames as well. And on the 5-minute chart, I was sharing this going into the CPI reading, guys. I shared this channel. I said, look for the breakout. We got the breakout on positive news. Perfect break. I set the price target, which sounded ludicrous at the time, of 27,600. Yes, that's what the technical target shows me here. And that is me being conservative, taking this swing move here and applying it to the point of breakout. Again, you learn all of this in my TA course, ijaz.uk/TA. So do not be surprised to see this working its way there. I don't expect it to just go there straight away. Maybe it wants to build some support, take its time, but at some point I would expect us to start filling these gaps now, because the momentum is with Bitcoin right now. Now, if you take a look at this on a larger time frame, like the weekly time frame, you can see a head and shoulders pattern playing out as well. If you take the measure move from the neckline to the bottom of the head, apply it to the point of breakout, you see that this gives your price target up at $35,000. And again, that matches up with a lot of the things we're expecting here on the weekly chart. If we bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see we're reclaiming that. That's fantastic news. If I share with you the Bollinger Band as well, a nice break of structure on the Bollinger Band will also set us up for a nice move as well. And of course, looking at the VPVR, you do see that we do have thinly trading volume all the way up to 38,000. So again, I do expect this to feel quite nicely. Now, what are the risks? We need to talk about some of the risks here in this market. And the risks here in this market is that Jerome Powell completely ignores what the market says and comes out and does a huge rate hike and speaks increasingly hawkishly at the next meeting. Do I expect that to happen? No. I think the green light is here for us to go ahead and start moving into our risk on stocks. If we look at it, this is the pivot. This is the pivot that we're waiting for. It's come a little bit early because it's been forced by the whole banking system failure, and that has allowed us to start moving before inflation is at meaningful levels. Let me know, what are you guys doing in the market? How are you reacting to this CPI news? Are you happy that Bitcoin is pumping? Do you have some of that regret that you didn't buy the dip a little bit more? Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out the links in the description. Watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.